If you're not going forward, you are going backwards. There is no such thing as just staying where you are.
Hi, I'm Maude and this is the Realtors Conspiracy podcast, where we crack the code to real estate success. Learn from top realtors, entrepreneurs, and innovators about how to grow your business as we discuss real estate success stories, mindset, processes, motivations, and the key to their success. Check out our podcast episodes every Monday to crack the code to success for your real estate business. This week, I'm speaking with Lynn Fee from the Lynn Fee team at Keller Williams. Lynn successfully grew her business from a single realtor to a team leader through hard work, extra caring, and constantly innovating. She shared how she made decisions and risky moves from fear, but trusting her gut. Let's get to my chat with Lynn. Hi Lynn, thanks for joining us on the episode today. Tell us, what is the key to your success?
Mo, thanks for having me. I wish there was an easy, quick answer. I started as very fearful in the business. So in the beginning, I think the key was being authentic. I was with people at open houses 20 years ago when it started, and I gave them all that I could. I was honest, open, and extremely helpful, providing more than anyone ever asked for. And that was the beginning for me of trying to offer value and be professional and ethical always. And people say honest, but that word is used quite liberally. But I took that to heart, that people needed to be cared about and to be treated well, because this is the largest financial investment ever that they have. So that would be probably an important part of it.
You are a true give service, full service realtor. How do you treat your client? What do you offer them that is different?
Well, I think I just stepped out of the boardroom meeting with someone I've actually known for more years I care to admit. I mean, I worked with him probably 40 years ago in Grimsby. And there's a sense of care, of extreme care. And when they show up, it's not just me, it's me. I have a son involved. I have good people behind us, beside me. We have a stager. We have experienced buyer agents. They come in, they know that we have a team of 5 administrative people, and they're not just administrators. We call them our client care team, because when people are going to put that much of their life, I guess, because their homes are their life, and they with us, they want to be looked after. So we make sure they're taken good care of. We came in, we sat down, whether it's a cup of coffee, and sometimes people just want to know what we really think. So we do a lot to make sure they feel cared for.
Yeah. How do you keep yourself accountable for showing up like that every day? Because can sometimes be draining or tiring.
Yeah, it can be. And I always say I'm not a spring chicken. When I started in this business, I already had, my kids were teens, I guess, young teens, but this business motivated me. I remember saying, well, I have to work more than 35 hours a week. That seemed important because that's what I was doing. It was a desk job. It was administrative. I was administrator for vice president of a marketing company, and I was just thinking, can I just do this and not have more than 35 hours? Well, I can tell you that I worked twice as much as 35 hours plus more, and there were times that we didn't even want to talk about how many hours we worked in a week. But there was a great amount of adrenaline, and there's a great amount of joy. You make a difference. People just think we're salespeople, but we're not. We're making a difference in lives, and there's such a rush that comes with that. Buying, selling, we've had a pretty wonky market the last few years. Goodness, during those couple of years, we'll call them the COVID years, we didn't stop. And but today it's kind of different. But it's all of it brings you kind of a different experience of people, joy, ups, downs. You feel like sometimes you're you're a therapist. So I might have gone on a tangent there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. How do you keep your team still motivated? Because what motivates you, we can tell it's energy,
Um,
adrenaline,
yeah.
success. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised sometimes that they're all still all in. So today we have our Tuesday team meeting, and everyone's excited to get here. It's the new year. We're second weekend, and it's almost like we're all like, thank goodness we're all back together again. There's a family-like feeling here that is not usual, and that's why I think teams are so important. Like people say, why would I want to join a team? Well, I know I'm jumping, but it's camaraderie for one. I don't think anybody wants to be alone. I like to be alone. I am a little bit of an introvert. I love to be alone at times, but there's only so much of that that's healthy. And then you come in and you realize, no, I want to be here amongst my peers. And we share our war stories and we share our fun and we're all going. Last year, we were just saying, we had a rough year, not only on a personal level, we all went through some stuff that, I had a terrible fall, ended up in the hospital and COVID and everything else. And if I was to tell you, all of my agents had some similar. So we get
Event.
together. Yeah, we get together again here and we're like, oh, thank goodness, we're all together. And everybody comes in happy, smiling and raring to say 2023 is going to be a great year. I don't know how I would ever manage without that kind of energy and these fantastic teammates of mine. So yeah,
Having your team behind you totally helps.
exactly. It does. It really, really does. It does.
What kind of systems do you have in place for your team to make sure they offer the same level of care and service as you want to?
Well, that's the nice thing is that I say the nice thing is systems, it's always about a system. Although we say, oh, we fly by the seat of our pants, nobody can really fly by the seat of their pants for long. If I'm an individual agent, I suppose I can make sure if I only have one or two clients that I'm doing everything. The moment you get into more than that, you need good systems. When I first started, I thought I immediately got a good administrator, and then I immediately got someone to help me with buyers. Because if you want to take good care of people, so we have systems. And our systems have been so well honed now. As I said, I have a vice president of operations, a vice president of sales. I have wonderful agents, and they can't do their work if we don't have systems. But I happen to have 5 actual, we'll call them administrators, as I said, but they're really client care people. And they've all got one's a transaction, one's our listing, one's are taking intake calls, and they all know how to talk to people, the right questions to ask, how to give them feedback, to stay on top so that everyone feels really well looked after. And we don't want anything to fall through the cracks. And our sellers and buyers, they don't want anything to fall through the cracks. We're done. They're going to work with somebody else if that's what's going to happen. Yeah. And they pay us well to take care of them. So.
No, makes sense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
How, like you're mentoring your agents and your team because you've been in the business for so many years, but what would you say would be 3 actions every realtor should be doing?
Our database is gold. And I was taught that right in the very beginning by a super duper mentor type guy who ran a big program. And he always said, your database includes your clients from past, from present. So get into that database, find out what everyone's doing. You might have sold them a house 2 or 3 years ago. What are they doing right now? Are they still in that house? Have you stayed in touch? So some of the systems we have and that my fabulous team takes care of is making sure we're in touch by mail, by email. We send things out. We gift people throughout the year. It's little things, but go get something at Mom's Chocolate. Here's a little coupon. Go get a flower. Come and grab a pumpkin or a pumpkin pie. We want them to know that even though many years have gone by, we have not forgotten them. We're grateful for them. So that would be probably one of the main things. When you say, what else would you do? Well, I'm going to say, you've got to think about the importance of what you're doing, and you can't let things fall. I keep saying fall through the cracks. I set reminders constantly. I set accountability. I set a schedule. I think you have to be responsible for the fact that you're taking on the biggest financial investment of somebody's life, and you can't take it lightly. surround yourself with great people. Do your due diligence when you hire. We have a Keller Williams, by the way, I'm just going to really go there for a second. This is a company that's all about training, mentoring, coaching. That's why I left Remax to come here about 5 years ago, because they embrace that. So I'd say find a company that takes care of that and believes in the coaching, mentoring, training, and believes in the win-win. So that was important to me, that they cared about people and not just about the bottom line all the time. So I like that there's training available. Our people need to always be getting better at what they do. So I have really talented people. I'm so grateful every single day for that. I think I hit 3 things.
That's amazing. Yeah, that was 3 things. And I like that training from your brokerage is helping you grow still. Like it's not like you're saying, I've done it, I've been a realtor, I'm done. You keep growing, you keep thinking, innovating.
Yeah, we have to. I don't think there's any such thing as staying still. If you're not going forward, you are going backwards. There is no such thing as just staying where you are. And even though sometimes I say, oh, maybe, is it time for me? I go, no, it's not time. It's time for me I pivot. I look at what's going on out there and I think, what do we need to do now? This is a new market. How can we change? How can we grow? How can we get better? How can we serve people? What are they looking for? And funny enough, right now, I think people want to know what's going on. They're not sure if they want to buy or sell. They're actually a little bit afraid because interest rates and things. So we just say, why don't you stop by and have a coffee with us? We have a lovely office and a building here, and we try really hard to be welcoming in the community. Why don't you stop in and just have a coffee? I know everyone thinks, oh, we just want to take them hostage, get them to sign up with us. But we really would love them to be educated. So my goal this year is to educate people. I've always loved the idea of education, and I'd like to educate people on to how do we do this? How can we help you? How can we get you over that hump?
Yeah.
You don't have to buy. You don't have to buy. And let us show you what's out there and all the great opportunities that are out there right now. So that's my hope.
Yeah, I like that. Educating, not trying to push for a sell or buy. You're just, again, caring to make sure they know everything and they know all the options available to them.
Right.
Amazing.
Right. And you want them to therefore trust me, trust the team, trust the process. Once you trust people, then they become your clients for life.
Yeah.
And they tell their kids about you. They tell their neighbors. Some people have actually referred us and they never bought with us. They met us and they got a good feeling. We come to their home and it turned out that they stayed where they were, but they told other people, you've got to give them a call. So, I always think that says something in itself, about somehow something in what we did or said made them feel, they felt our authenticity. They felt that we were for real, and we really didn't pressure them. Yeah. We came, we presented, we left them all kinds of stuff, and we left. And we said, best, give us a call. We check in with them now and then, and that's it.
Yeah. That's the true testament of how you're not pressuring. Like that, it didn't work out, but that's fine. They loved you still after the fact. That's amazing. Yeah. What are you excited about in 2023 this year?
Well, I'm excited to see already. I was hoping that things were going to pick up a little because we were starting to see of all the interest rate increases. And when I say the effect, it's what I want to say, it's an effect that affects people more in a mental way, as in their attitudes become very concerning. So we can't always say, oh, don't let that bother you, because it sounds like, again, we're salespeople. But there were times when I wanted to say, it's actually a really good time to buy because the prices are dropping. And yes, the interest rates are high, but they're not going to stay high. They really aren't. They're going to come down. But if you can catch a sale right now while the prices are coming down, those rates are temporary. And with a variable interest rate, you will be able to renegotiate, yet have a very good purchase. So what I'm seeing in 2023 is we're already feeling there's an energy in the air. I sense it. I was not sure if we were going to sense that feeling or feel it, but even this past weekend, we saw people out showing our listings, and if they're showing our listings, they're showing other listings. And we thought, this is unbelievable. But it was like everybody was slowly get started. It was only the first week in January,
Yeah.
but already we're noticing that. So we're already looking at some offers, and we're thinking that it's a good sign.
That's amazing.
I think people are finally saying, maybe it's true, prices have come down. And I always want to say this to people, it's a hard pill to swallow, but that COVID bubble was just that. It was a bubble. And you know, it's hard. A lot of people have said, yeah, but they got this much. And I never want to be the bearer of the truth of, that's right, they did. And had you been listed then, you would have too. But you would have also had to purchase in that market.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And a lot of people are having a lot of trouble with those prices right now. And those mortgage rates, you know, but it was like a stock market, you know, yeah, you didn't buy the stock, you know, or you didn't sell when it was there. Guess what? It's the way it is. So we always go, your house price will never actually go down, truly. The market for home purchases always goes up. So,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent
It's a
there,
great
but
way to explain it, like a stock. Like it went up and then they went back
yeah,
down to where it was ish, but it's still
yeah,
going up. So
yeah.
it's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, yeah, there's always growth. No one will ever say that investing in a home hasn't been a great investment. It always will be. You just have to look back a little further and go back to 2019, and why don't you look at how the graph might look? Don't look at that part, just ignore that and just go, you still grew really well. From 19 to 23, you'll just see, wow, look at that. That growth was incredible. And it really is great growth.
And what would be the best advice you've ever received in your career so far?
Oh, wow. The best advice I have ever received in my career. Wow. Well, probably to invest in real estate myself. I haven't done enough of that. The other bit of advice was to surround yourself with good people, and building the team. Like now, I think building a good, solid team is good advice.
Yeah.
It wasn't how I started. It wasn't what I thought was going to be the way it was, but I do not believe I could. No, I know I could not have ever done this without a team. It's just, it's not possible to do this. And I think that was probably, you know, the best advice I could have received.
Yeah, you took a leap when you bought the building and it was stressful, I remember, but now like you would not go back, I'm assuming, and just keep that investment.
No,
Yeah, so real estate is
no.
always a great.
Yeah, I was very, very afraid. Actually, I always start in fear. And then I move. I have to move through my fear. So for anyone out there that thinks that was easy, every move I've made since I started was fear, and then moving through it. And then, like I say, a struggling single mom who didn't even know if she could keep her own house is going, I'm going to do what? And I'm going to do what by myself? And I want a 9 to 5 job, you know, where I don't have this kind of stress. And then you move through it, and every time you move through something. So this purchase was like, I'm going to buy this building. I just want to rent some space in Grimsby, maybe. So yeah, everything has been pushing myself through and finding a way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, always finding a partner a partner as in a financial partner. I've had good fortune in that way. To find a good lawyer, because I mean, somewhere in there, you have to have a good lawyer. You need a good financial institution or two or three. We need to have those people, and I happen to have that. And not to mention, I have a great stager on my team, and I have just great people overall, you know. So we've been really blessed, you know, with all that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's so great to hear. Yeah. Well, thank you, Lynn, for sharing such a great success story. I'm really excited to see you this year again. And tell us, where do we find you?
Oh, well, you can find me actually anywhere by calling, but you can find me actually located in downtown Grimsby. Can't miss this building, right on the downtown strip. And we have an signage out front. And as I said, really, we'd love to have coffee, just have a chat with anybody that just wants to just sit down and have advice. I think you can, if you just Google Lynn Fee, you'll find my website, but it is lynnfeeteam.com to be official, and really happy to be here. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today.
And one thing I want to say is we service the entire Niagara Peninsula, not just Grimsby. So I know it seems like, but this is where my home is kind of, but we're right from the Fort Erie all the way out, way past Burlington. And my agents cover the areas and they live in all the areas. So we've got a really diverse group of people here. So.
Very important. Yeah, very important. Well, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to speak.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks for joining. If you know anyone who could benefit from Lynn's grit story, please click to share.